Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're embarking on a really fascinating journey. We're looking at the intersection of language and mental wellness.
hmm
We've got this insightful resource here. It's a guide, really crafted to help people express emotions and, discuss well-being confidently in English.
Yeah, and what immediately struck me about this guide is its, let's say, profound understanding that language isn't just for swapping information.
Right.
It's more fundamental, a tool for um, processing things internally, making sense of our own stuff, and forging those deeper connections with people.
Exactly. It offers a structured way to get that emotional fluency, and it really acknowledges how the words we learn shape our personal well-being.
It's not just abstract.
Yeah, it's not just grammar and vocab lists. It's about giving form, giving a voice to feelings that can often seem, well, shapeless inside us.
That's a great way to put it.
So our mission today is to unpack the most valuable bits from this guide. We'll explore the key vocabulary, some really practical coping strategies, and even some nuanced expressions.
Showing how language can be that powerful lever, maybe,
Mm,
for managing your internal world.
exactly. And communicating your needs clearly. By the end, you should have a more robust emotional toolkit. Sound good?
Let's dive in.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. Our source material really emphasizes this as crucial. Just being able to name our emotions accurately.
hmm
Think about it. How often do we just feel bad or maybe good, but can't quite pinpoint the exact, shade of that feeling?
All the time. And this guide argues that giving a specific label, that name, is the first vital step. You need it for understanding and then eventually for managing it.
Right. And this connects to that idea of emotional granularity, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Psychologists talk about this. The more precisely we can label our feelings, the better we actually get at regulating them.
So instead of that vague, maybe overwhelming, I feel bad.
You articulate, I feel anxious, or maybe I feel frustrated. And that precision gives both you and maybe others around you a starting point. It's not just a word,
So like an anchor?
a linguistic anchor, exactly.
Yeah.
It allows for self-awareness and consequently more effective processing. This guide is giving us that critical vocabulary.
Turning those abstract feelings into concepts we can handle.
Precisely. Manageable concepts.
That makes a ton of sense. So it's not just listing words randomly, it's about precision.
Yeah.
It introduces core states, like you said, moving beyond just happy to maybe joyful.
Or from bad to specifics like sad or down.
Yeah, like being able to say, I've been feeling a bit down lately, instead of just, I'm not doing great. It carries a specific nuance, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It communicates much more clearly.
And it gives us language for those trickier feelings, too. We all know that sort of fluttery feeling of being anxious or nervous. The guide helps you actually articulate it, maybe saying, I'm anxious about tomorrow's meeting. It connects the feeling to something specific.
Right. It's not just free-floating anxiety then. It has a cause you can potentially address.
And for that internal pressure, there's angry or maybe frustrated. You could say, I felt frustrated after the conversation. That clearly defines the emotion and its trigger.
And importantly, on the flip side, it gives words for positive states too, like relaxed or calm.
As in, I feel calm and at ease after meditation. Saying it helps solidify that feeling, maybe.
I think so. These aren't just definitions we're talking about. They feel more like doorways to deeper self-understanding.
What's really fascinating here, and you touched on this, is how this linguistic precision, this effective labeling, it goes beyond just describing something.
Yeah, research is pretty compelling. Putting words to our emotions, it seems, can actually dial down their intensity.
How does that work?
Well, when we label an emotion, we engage the prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of the brain. And that seems to help calm the amygdala.
Ah, the brain's sort of alarm system.
Exactly, the fear center. So this isn't just about sounding more fluent when you speak English. It's about using language for actual, neurological self-regulation.
Yeah.
The guide is essentially handing over the linguistic tools to tap into that built-in human capacity for managing our emotions.
That's a really powerful language, literally changing how we feel. Okay, so once we've identified an emotion, the next step, as the guide points out, is knowing how to manage it.
Right.
Which brings us to these everyday coping strategies. And this is where the guide becomes a really practical toolkit, I think.
Very actionable.
Yeah, these aren't just abstract theories. They're phrases you can use straight away. Like, when that wave of stress hits, the simple instruction, take a deep breath.
So simple, yet so effective.
And the guide shows how to frame it. When I feel stressed, I take a deep breath. It's like a linguistic cue for a physical response, right? engaging that calming part of the nervous system.
Absolutely. And think about the power of sharing, too. The guide mentions talk it out.
Yeah, sometimes just saying it out loud helps, doesn't it?
It really does. It externalizes the chaos. The guide gives examples like, sometimes talking it out with a friend helps me feel better. It normalizes reaching out for support.
That normalization is key.
It is, and the brilliance here is that emphasis on accessible, immediate actions. Take a deep breath. It's more than advice, it's an instruction. When you internalize it, verbalize it, it can offer a quick physiological reset.
A linguistic prompt for self-regulation.
You got it. And talk it out, like we said, isn't just venting. It often leads to clarity, or at least feeling less alone with the burden. The guide gives learners the actual words, the permission, really, to use these essential practices.
And it doesn't stop there. It includes other practical tips, like take a break, something I definitely forget to do.
We all do.
As in, I need to take a break from work to relax. Or if your mind's racing, practice mindfulness. It illustrates it. Practicing mindfulness helps me stay present, anchoring you.
Bringing you back to the now.
And of course, the big one for mood, get moving. The guide reminds us, going for a walk always improves my mood.
Simple truths, but powerful.
Yeah, they're not exactly groundbreaking ideas, but having the specific English phrases to articulate them and maybe even motivate yourself to do them, that's a game changer if you're navigating wellness in a new language.
Definitely. It lowers the barrier to action.
And what I've found really effective are the role play scenarios the guide includes. They really bring these phrases to life.
Oh yeah, those are great. Like the coffee shop one.
Exactly. Imagine a friend says, "Hi, I'm feeling a bit stressed today. Any tips?" And you can respond confidently using the guide. Sure, taking a short walk or practicing deep breathing usually helps.
It models that natural, helpful interaction.
Or at work, maybe a colleague says, "I'm nervous about the presentation." You can offer, "Don't worry, practice beforehand and take a deep breath. You'll do great."
These aren't just phrases on a page then. They become tools for actual connection and support in the real world.
Which moves us beyond just looking after ourselves into that interpersonal support realm. It highlights the community aspect of well-being.
Totally. And the phrases become like currency for empathy and help. Plus, the guide broadens out to holistic wellness too.
Right, it talks about express yourself, urging us not to bottle things up, using those "I feel" statements.
And reinforcing stay active for mood, and crucially, connect socially. It emphasizes talking to friends or family, sharing feelings, building that support network through language.
And importantly, it includes practice self-care, doing activities that relax or rejuvenate you.
And maybe the most vital one, seek professional help.
Yes, this is so important. It actively works to destigmatize getting mental health support. It clearly states it's okay to talk to a mental health professional if you need guidance.
It gives not just the permission, but the language to start that conversation, which can be a huge barrier for people.
Absolutely.
That's such a critical inclusion. Normalizing seeking help through clear language is really empowering. It reframes something potentially scary into an accessible choice.
So when you look at this whole section on coping,
Yeah, what really stands out is not just the list of phrases, but how the guide builds this whole framework. For personal and communal well-being, it's like linguistic scaffolding for a healthier life.
what specific part of these coping strategies do you reckon is most transformative for someone learning English?
That's a good question. For me, maybe it's the combination of talk it out and connect socially, specifically paired with those scenarios you mentioned.
Why those?
Because it's one thing to know the words, right? But it's totally different to feel confident enough to actually start a conversation about feeling vulnerable, especially in a language that's not your first.
Yeah, that takes courage.
Definitely. So the guide doesn't just give vocabulary, it shows you how to use it in context. It lowers that fear of saying the wrong thing when talking about sensitive feelings. That's social application. That's powerful stuff.
I agree. Okay, so we've got naming emotions, we've got coping strategies. Now let's talk about adding that extra layer of expression.
The nuance.
Yeah, the kind that makes your communication feel richer, more natural. Our source moves beyond direct phrases here and introduces idioms.
Which are always fascinating, aren't they? Idioms often capture cultural feelings, shared understandings, ways that direct translations just can't match.
They're like little capsules of culture.
Exactly. They're not just colorful fluff. They're keys to a kind of collective emotional intelligence. When you use them well, you're not just speaking the language, you're tapping into how that culture perceives and talks about feelings,
It's a big step towards sounding genuinely fluent, as the source says.
and feeling more connected to the language, too.
Totally. The guide calls them fun ways to express emotions naturally, which I like. Take feeling under the weather.
Classic.
It's such a common one. It perfectly captures that vague sense of being a bit off, maybe unwell, but not necessarily like full-blown sick. The example is, I'm feeling under the weather today, so I'll take it easy.
Relatable, concise, everyone knows what you mean.
Then there's one like carry a heavy heart. It paints such a clear picture, doesn't it? Deep sadness, grief.
A real sense of burden.
The source shows it. She's carrying a heavy heart after the news. It conveys that profound weight really succinctly.
It does, much more evocative than just saying she's very sad.
And for letting off frustration, blow off steam, perfect.
Yeah, we all need that sometimes.
I went for a run to blow off steam. You immediately understand the need for release. And on the flip side, for pure joy, on cloud 9.
The ultimate happiness idiom.
Pretty much. After my promotion, I was on cloud 9. It just perfectly captures that feeling of intense elation. These idioms, they aren't just decoration. They really are part of sounding natural and understanding the emotional depth.
And the guide includes a mini role play for practice, too, right?
Yeah, like A says, I'm feeling under the weather, so I won't go to the party. And B responds supportively, that's okay, take care of yourself and rest. Simple, but it reinforces how to use it naturally.
It integrates the idiom into a realistic exchange. Good stuff.
Well, what a journey we've taken through this landscape of emotional language. We've distilled some essential vocabulary for, precise self-expression
Naming those feelings accurately.
and practical coping strategies for immediate well-being, plus those broader wellness tips for holistic health.
And even dipped into some colorful idioms to add that authentic nuance.
Yeah, we've seen how just naming feelings can be a first step and how these practical phrases become real tools for self-care and connection.
Indeed. This whole deep dive, I think, really underscores something important. While this specific guide focuses on English learners, the core principle, it's universal.
Language is a pathway.
Exactly. A pathway to both understanding ourselves better and forging genuine connections with others. Our ability to articulate feelings, to understand coping methods, to seek support. It's not just about learning words.
It's about empowerment.
It really is. It's about giving ourselves and the people we interact with the crucial tools to navigate the, let's be honest, often complex world of emotions.
So what's the big takeaway for you listening?
Perhaps the most profound thought is this. Mastering the language of emotion, whatever your native tongue, isn't just about boosting your communication skills.
It's more fundamental.
I think so. It's about actively cultivating a more robust, resilient, and responsive mental wellness practice for yourself. You're building emotional intelligence, really. One word, one phrase, one idiom at a time.
That's a truly powerful thought to end on. Keep practicing these insights. Try using these phrases. And remember the immense power that comes from expressing your emotions clearly.
Both for your own internal world and in your connections with others.
It's definitely a skill that pays dividends far beyond just language learning. Until next time, keep diving deep.